Welcome back to Bella Boo's Lunches, or if you're new, welcome. Happy you're here. Hit that subscribe button, share it out, like it, do all the things. It really does help me out. And let's make some lunches. Today she is getting some quesadillas, but I'm starting off with this dirt pudding, and I just take chocolate pudding, mix it with a little bit of whipped topping, just to make, a couple little fun layers. I did add on some crushed Oreos and some gummy worms. And now I'm making the quesadillas, and I'm just carving out my little face shapes with my knife. Nothing too fancy, and honestly, the spookier, the better. So if you're not crafty, this is a perfect little job for you to do. I added shredded cheese, chucked them bad boys right into her lunchbox, and then I gave her a little bit of sour cream. I added some sprinkles, and then I decorated this little cutie to make it look like a little pumpkin face. And there you go. The pumpkins kind of turned out creepy. That's exactly what we're going for. And this dirt pudding was, of course, a hit with that shovel spoon. Anyway, here's Bella's lunch. Today she's getting naan pizza, and I just cut it out using a pumpkin-shaped cookie cutter. Added a little bit of garlic and then my pizza sauce. And the topping she wanted was black olives and pepperoni. So I threw those onto the top, of course, with cheese, and then tossed them into my toaster oven to bake off. Then I had this cute little pumpkin bucket that I just tossed a few carrots into it, gave her a little bit of applesauce with some sprinkles. We just love sprinkles on anything. And then I had this adorable little treat bag. I love this. It's a cupcake topper, but I love filling it with different things around Halloween. And today she got cinnamon. Then I went ahead and tossed in her cute little pizzas. Aren't they so fun and so simple and easy? And honestly, that was it. Here is Bella's lunch today. She's getting some fun pizza naan, or non-pizza, applesauce with cinnamon, and of course her carrots. We are making hamburgers with cheese, so cheeseburgers, I guess. I'm starting off by just carving my little face into my cheese, but FYI, you can skip this step and just kind of scrape your face into your hamburger, because this ended up just all melting together. You'll see. Because their faces just melt off. Like, what? That is the creepiest hamburger ever. They're so scary. They do have lids. But please tell me why this is like the scariest looking burgers I've ever made in my entire life. All right, I whipped up just a teeny tiny baby batch of guac. There we go. And then I have these peach halves. They are ginormous. They're from Trader Joe's. And some chips for her guac. I'm also going to give her a tortilla roll up. All right, here is Bella's lunch today. Is it creepy enough for us? We are getting these weird looking, they're supposed to be so cute, but they're spooky and they're scary and they're gross looking little cheeseburgers. And she's getting some tortilla roll-ups up at the top. Over here we have some guac and chips and of course some peaches. These peaches seriously look so yum. That's it. Here is Bella's lunch today. We are making spaghetti and meatballs. I was kind of loud. Sorry about that. My apologies. I'm going to start by making some breadsticks. If you're wondering, why does Amy have pizza dough? So since it's kind of thickish, I'm going to kind of cut my breadsticks skinny-ish. And I'm taking foil. I'm just going to make it in like a roundish shape, like this. I don't know how to describe it. Take some butter and garlic. It's got a little bit of parm on it. And I'm just going to rub that all over my little breadsticks. So then we're going to take our breadsticks and we're attempting to make little snakes with them. The foil dudes. There we go. Here is what they look like before I pop them into the oven. Look what I did. I made creepy spaghetti. So I'm just going to take her spaghetti and throw it into her thermos. Look at how cool the spaghetti is. All right, and then I have some meatballs that have been heating up in my saucy sauce. And then I have my foil snake dude. Here is Bella's lunch today. She is getting spooky spaghetti with meatballs, a side of marinara sauce to go with her breadsticks, and that's it. We are going to make one more lunch for Bella before this week is over. And let me tell you, you guys, it's getting cold. I'm not ready for this winter season to be upon us. I have a feeling I'm going to have to turn my heat on, and I am so sad about that. Look at it. We could have made an Uncrustable. We got to separate our bread a little bit. We're going to put our cheese on. Let's add in our meat. Okay, so let's cut out teeth. We're just going to use a knife and just do V shape. See, now we got some monster teeth. Okay, I have the longest bananas, and they're super straight. So my thought is I'm going to try to make like a banana split, but I'm going to make it into a banana. Okay, it's not going to be a banana split. A banana graveyard. That's what I'm going for. So when it starts to curve right here, I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut part of them off like this. See? And then I can put Nutella on it like it's dirt. I couldn't decide to do Nutella or peanut butter because, I don't know, peanut butter bananas is really delicious. But so is Nutella. Nothing beats Nutella and bananas. And also, Nutella is a better color. I compared them. Okay, my idea was, and it was really going to be cute. I have like these little cauldrons, and then I have this Jell-O, and I was going to fill this cauldron up, and maybe I'll just do it anyways and just put it on the side. But for her lunch, I'm just going to put it in there. I didn't mean to do that. I'm very big. I'm not contaminating like other foods. So as soon as I dipped this in there, I knew I couldn't also dip it into my whipped cream. Oopsie. I just made up a little bit of whipped cream. So I'm going to put some into my Jell-O. Kind of stir it around in there. So we're going to just throw that down in here. Oh, yum. Is this how they make that Jell-O stuff that has fruit in it and marshmallows? Because I don't like that. I always try to like that, and I always want to like that, but I'm not a fan of that. Ooh, we could make this into one too. This is kind of a snacky lunch. I don't know. She's getting a banana with Nutella, some watermelon Jell-O. Hello, it's so good, mixed with homemade whipped cream, and then just a ham and cheese, a monster sandwich with this spider crawling on the monster's head. Ah! I made a little cauldron of it. I'll probably eat this or ask Bella which one she would rather have. Or maybe she'll eat both Jell-Os. I don't know. It's Jell-O. It's so good. Today, we are making mummy sandwiches for Bella's lunch. So I'm just taking, this little guy is like a plunger cutter. I don't know what he's actually intended for. Maybe sandwiches. But see, he's from Pampered Chef. And I'm just going to cut out like these perfect little squares. You just plunge them out. Isn't that so cute? And then I'm going to take this same thing and I'm going to cut out some cheese. And I got perfectly shaped little cheese. And you can eat this. All right, let's start building our mummies. I'm gonna take a little bit of mayo and just put it on the very bottom of the bread. And then we're gonna start layering. I'm gonna take a piece of cheese. There we go. And then a piece of spinach for our lettuce. And then another piece of bread. She's getting bananas. Did I say that? Could you figure that out on your own? Probably. I'm sorry. You know what a banana looks like. You know what I watched recently for my first time ever? I watched the movie Chucky. I'm going to give her some sprinkles to put in her. I already put some cinnamon in that applesauce, but I thought it'd be fun if she could like sprinkle her own little sprinkles in too. I'll add some sprinkles to it, but then she can like add some more. Not too many, just a few in there. Isn't that cute though, right? I watched Chucky. Tell me why I felt bad for him. Like he was just trying to make that kid happy. Maybe I watched the wrong Chucky. I don't know. But I felt really bad for Chucky. And he didn't understand what he was doing was wrong. I mean, in the end, he like went a little bit wackadoodle. But, yeah, I mean, I felt bad for him. We need some eyeballs. These are, the sandwich is supposed to be a mummy. Does it look like a mummy to you? That's my question. Anybody have any like good Halloween movies though that I can watch? Because I will tell you what though, I'm kind of picky with my movies. I like movies like what I watched when I was in high school, like I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't like Saw. Like I don't like Icky and Owies. I don't like that. I added a few more decorations. I'm out of carrots, so my witch finger is empty. But I think this will do it. Here's Bella's little lunch today. Oh, no, I was going to put stuff on the bananas, but I think I'm just going to let them be. She's getting a mummy sandwich, some applesauce, and bananas. And that's her lunch. Her veg, I guess, is the spinach. Today, she's getting a mummy sandwich. So I'm starting off by cutting out 2 slices of bread into a circle. And I'm just using a cup that I had. You can use a cup that you have or maybe even a cookie cutter. If you happen to have a circular one, that would work perfectly. Then I'm adding on a little bit of mayo and folding up my ham so it fits on my sandwich a little bit nicer because today she's getting ham and cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that cheese out using that same cup. And now for the top slice of bread, I'm cutting it so it sort of looks like a mummy. I just cut them into kind of different directions. Doesn't have to be perfect. You definitely don't want it to be even. And then I'm adding on these cute little eyeballs. Then I gave her a little bit of yogurt that I did tint purple, but if you buy blueberry, it's already tinted there for you. I sliced up a couple bananas, added in some Cheez-Its, some fun decorations, and I was done. Hey guys, today we are making pumpkin sandwiches. I'm starting off by just putting a little dollop of peanut butter right onto my bread. Then I'm going to cover my bread up, and I'm going to use this guy to cut my sandwich out. And there's my cute little pumpkin. The bottom side is always the pretty side. I'm going to color mine orange. Now I'm going to give Bella a little bit of a dip. So it's the most delicious dip ever. And it's perfect for any holiday party, not necessarily just Halloween. So I'm putting cream cheese in a little cupcake liner. And then I went to Aldi the other day and I saw they have this red pepper fruit spread. This is how stinking good it is. We've like basically devoured the entire thing. You put this on top of the cream cheese and you simply eat it with crackers, and it's so stinking good. So I got some crackers for her. And then I have this cute little pumpkin dude. I have some leftover black olives. Throw some olives into her pumpkin. All right, and here is Bella's lunch today. She is getting a pumpkin-shaped peanut butter sandwiches, some black olives, some crackers, and sweet and spicy red pepper spread. I don't know what to call it. Today's lunch, we are gonna take a couple of these Hawaiian buns, and I'm gonna make 2 slits in them, not going all the way through. I'm going to cut a little section out. Like this. I have a little bit of melted butter. To that, I'm going to add in some garlic, Parmesan cheese, and some Italian seasoning. And we're going to put that on our buns. And we're going to attempt to get it into all the little crevices. Then I have some slices of mozzarella cheese. These have been in for just a few, probably about 5 minutes so far. And I'm going to throw them back in, but I'm going to pop in a meatball into each of my little spots. A little extra parm on the top. We want them to look like eyeballs. Okay, we are going to plop these guys in. I have these crazy fingers. I'm just going to shove a couple carrots into them. See? You just shove a carrot in. Little carrot fingers. Ah! So scary. And then we're going to give her some chips to go along with her dip. So anyway, here is Bella's lunch today. We're making a pizza. So we are making this little guy. My hope is he's gonna look like Frankenstein. Then I'm gonna pile on a little bit of bacon, and now we're topping it with mozzarella cheese. We're gonna throw this in the oven really quick. While I got the pizza in the oven, I'm just going to slice up some apples. And I'm just going to put the apples right into this little container. Look at how cute it is. It's like a little skull hand. And then in this guy, did you guess that I'm doing caramel? Okay, and our pizza is done. But I've let it cool off just a bit. I'm going to add on our mayo. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit backwards just because I also want to be able to mostly see the green. So I'm going to add the tomatoes onto the bottom with the mayo. Now we're going to pile high our lettuce. His eyes are just going to be big dollops of mayo. And we'll do a couple tomatoes. Also, his nose needs to have some more tomatoes. You can do his mouth. More tomatoes. And we'll give him a scar too. Yep, he looks creepy enough for me. I like it. We're gonna put some apples down here and some caramel down here. And here we go. Here is our BLT pizza. We have a little Frankenstein dude, some apples and caramel, and that is it. We are making taco pizza, but I want it to look like a spider web. So we'll see. We'll see how I do with this. I've never done this before, but I've made taco pizza a lot of times. So I'm starting off by just taking my naan bread. I kind of cut it into a choppy little circle, and I am spreading on taco sauce. So you can take ground beef, taco meat, whatever you have, and we're just going to put it on top of our sauce. And then I like to drizzle on a little bit more of my taco seasoning because, I don't know, I just do. I like mine really saucy. Then we're going to top it with our cheese. So I am doing, I think this is actually Havarti, but you can do mozzarella, whatever cheese you happen to have on hand. And then a little bit of cheddar cheese. Now I'm going to go throw these guys into the oven and bake them until they are nice and melty and bubbly. While that is getting baked, I'm going to fill up my little pumpkin dude with some tabbouleh. We love tabbouleh. It is simply, this is what it looks like. It is just parsley and bulgur wheat, a little bit of finely diced onions, and some chopped up tomatoes. And the dressing is lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, and salt. That's it, right, Bella?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I add anything else to it. That's all I do. In this little cauldron, I'm just going to pop in some carrots. Throw in one of our Spiderweb pizzas. We're definitely assembling this a little bit backwards, but I'm going to put in some red onions and some tomatoes, a big pile of our lettuce, and then we're going to take a couple Doritos, crunch it up into Dorito dust, and put that on top. And then I'm going to attempt to make a spider web. All right, and then I'm gonna have, this is optional, I do have a bunch of black olives. What if I switched the head out with this head? I don't know. What about that? Anyway, let's build the rest of her lunch. She is getting some tabbouleh in this cute little spooky pumpkin. And she is getting, okay, that don't work like that. We'll put the carrots back there, and the tabbouleh no longer fits. Hold on, this is 100% for me. Bella could care less. But I'm switching from the cauldron into this thing. I added a few decorations. Here is Bella's lunch today. Scooch up, little head. She's getting a spider taco pizza, some carrots, some tabbouleh, and I added a few decorations just for fun. I'm going to mess up on this lunch, but I'm going to share it with you. I'm not going to cut it out because, you know, sometimes my fails are just kind of funny. So let me know if you figure it out before I do. So we're making a spider croissant, you know, like pigs in a blanket. That's what we're doing. So I am making a spider. And I've got my hot dog up, so I had some spider legs, added on some crescent roll dough. Wait, did I give them too many legs? They don't have 16 legs. I have to pull out some of these. So yeah, that was my mess up. But it wasn't a big one because I caught it right away, almost, you know, pretty quick. I hadn't baked them yet, so I got that, you know, somewhat correct. And I just threw them in the oven at 350 until they looked done. Then I threw some ketchup in, added in some mustard to make it kind of look like a spider web. How did I do? I was kind of proud of that, I'm not gonna lie. And then I threw in her little crescent roll hot dog spooky spider dudes, threw in that ketchup and mustard, and then that is pistachio pudding. I just put into a cute little cauldron, added in some creepy eyes because it's, you know, spooky. Is that spooky? Then I did dot on some mustard. Do you see those little dots on there? And then I'm just attaching the eyeballs to that. Again, struggling with counting. Spiders do have 8 eyes, right? I'm pretty sure they do. Maybe they don't, actually, now that I'm recording this voiceover. I probably failed on that too. Anyway, I gave her an orange, some graham crackers, added a few decorations, and this was her spooky lunch. It's so cute. Now, she's homeschooled, so that's why I'm not worrying about lids and anything. I'm going to start off by separating my English muffin because we are going to make a pizza out of it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. We're going to put a little bit of pizza sauce onto both of our muffins. Spread it out a little bit. And then we're going to pile on a bunch of pepperoni. And then we're going to top it with some shredded cheddar cheese. And then I'm going to take a piece of white cheese and cut out a ghost shape. And he's going to go right on top. And I'm gonna go throw these guys into the toaster oven and I'll be right back. While that's in the toaster oven, we're gonna slice up a banana. And then I have just some chocolate chips. We're going to put them on his little face. Mini ones would be working way better than this, but I don't have mini M&Ms or mini. Oh, do I have M? No, I don't have M. Do I have M&Ms? Nope, he's just gonna have big old bulging eyeballs. That's okay. Oh my gosh, he's so cute though. Okay, here's our little egg. I'm going to make him have a little ghost face by just taking a straw and popping it in and then pulling it out. It looks way cuter in person. You just really can't see it very good on video. There, you can kind of see it better there. I'm going to just slice up our olive really quick. And then I'm just going to take a few more black olives and just stick some eyes on them. Drop in her little ghost. What we could do is little ghost mouth like that. Bloop. Bloop. Yeah, I'm going to throw in a little bit of applesauce. And then we have our crazy black olive monster guys. Here's Bella's lunch today. She is getting a pizza on an English muffin, some bananas, applesauce, and a hard-boiled egg. Oh, and some black olives down here. We are making mummy hot dogs. So I need to take my crescent roll dough and kind of smash in the seams. And then you can take your cookie, no, not a cookie cutter, your pizza cutter, and start just going through and making some skinny little lines through your dough. And then we're going to take a hot dog, and I'm just going to cut my hot dog in half, and we are just going to wrap our little strings of crescent roll dough around our hot dog and make him a mummy. Okay, we're going to attempt something. Will it work? I'm not sure yet. But I need to have a little slicey slice just cut off there. And then we're going to bread in peanut butter. Okay, my consensus on that mouth, it is incredibly adorable. But it is incredibly hard, really hard to make. So make it at your own will. I was very careful, very calm, but it's kind of hard to do it. I mean, the people that do it, I give them props because that was not easy. Okay, so let's finish Bella's lunch here. I'm going to throw in another mummy, I think, because, oh my goodness, dripped. Of course I did. I shouldn't do it over my masterpiece of a mouth, though, that's for sure. Okay, she is getting, what flavor of yogurt today? Peach yogurt. Throw in another mummy. She's going to get some ketchup. Ooh, should I do that spiderweb thing, or is that played out? Ooh, I kept the little Ziploc. Let me grab it. We could just do like dots. And then I could make them have little legs. I'm going to attach some eyeballs, so I'm just going to use my mustard that's in my little bag. Just squirt on some glue, but it's mustard. And then I attach my eyes. I just kind of get stuck on there. He's thoroughly freaked out by the situation. I'm gonna just fill in these little sides with just a few little Cheez-It crackers. Oh no! Today for Bella's lunch, she is getting mummies. They are just hot dogs wrapped with crescent rolls, yogurt, peach yogurt, an apple with a little bit of peanut butter, some Cheez-It crackers, and then of course some ketchup and mustard to dip in her mummy. Guys, we just made the cutest little ghost ravioli. I'm gonna throw this guy, she's just getting ravioli today because I don't know how to separate it. It's gonna be so cute though. And then I made an Alfredo sauce. Now this sauce is super garlic. It's like super garlicky. So you can even like see the chunks of garlic in it. I had to thin out the sauce just a little bit. She was just way too thick. So I added a little bit of pasta water to it, and I'm gonna just add a few of these scallion greens. Oh my gosh, wait a second. It's like his little mouth. And then over here, we're gonna scooch that to the side. She's gonna get a cutie. And I started to write on it. I thought, oh, I should write on it with you guys. So we are just drawing. And first I started with a silver Sharpie. And then I realized that's not working, so got black. That's cute. Still have some of this pudding left over, so I'm going to give her the rest of, well, not the rest, but I'm going to give her a little bit more. And this is going to be her lunch today. So cute. I was going to say so easy, but honestly, making these was not that easy. But they're so good. I don't know if you can hear my water boiling. I'm going to make myself some of this ravioli because it's seriously so good. It's so good. I'm really impressed with the recipe. So I'll share it. I won't gatekeep my amazing ravioli recipe. That's not even my recipe. I don't know how to make this guy look so you can see him. Anyway, here's Bella's lunch today. Ravioli ghost dudes with some pistachio pudding and an orange. So I'm starting off with our favorite, dirt pudding. So I just added in some chocolate pudding, Oreo cookies, and some sour gummy worms. And now in the center, I'm adding these coconut strips. Honestly, I didn't think they were that great. We'll see if Bella ends up liking them. Otherwise, we're going to have to find somebody to give them to. Then I took these witch's fingers and I just shoved a bunch of carrots into them. I think they turned out looking super cute. There I am peeling her cutie for her because, of course, she doesn't like to get dirty. Finding my cute little leaf decoration to throw in there so it looks like a pumpkin. And on to the main course. She is getting pasta with wormy Alfredo, which sounds super gross. I just sauteed a bunch of onions and we both thought they looked like worms in there. So we're just going with it. Some meatballs. I could have made them into eyes, but I didn't. I just added some decorations and I was done. Let's make Bella a pumpkin themed lunch. So I'm starting off by making quesadillas and I'm cutting them into a pumpkin shape using my cookie cutter. Then I buttered the outsides of my tortillas, added some cheese to the center, threw them onto my stove and grilled them up. When they came out, I thought they needed to be a little bit more orange, so I spray painted them orange, threw them into her lunchbox and then gave her some carrots and sour cream in her creepy little Halloween cup. Then she had drawn on some of our cuties with a Sharpie into little jack-o'-lanterns. So I threw one of those into her lunchbox as well. I'll probably end up having to peel it later, but we'll see. I gave her some Cheez-It crackers, added some decorations, and decided I wanted to spray paint her sour cream. Bad idea. It turned out looking like an egg. Now it's done. Let's make a spooky lunch. So I'm starting off with a banana. I'm cutting it into thirds, adding some chocolate chips, and turning my bananas into Bonanas. Isn't that so cute? Anyway, I gave her some hummus, some veggie chips that were Halloween themed, threw in a little bit of yogurt with some Reese's on the top, just as, you know, Halloween-y colors. And then I gave her some pasta that I colored purple and green with a little bit of pesto and these creepy eyeballs that I made from mozzarella balls and black olives. I added a few decorations and I was done. Today's lunch we are doing mummy hot dogs. So I'm just taking crescent roll dough, slicing it into thin strips, and then wrapping it around hot dogs. I just cut these hot dogs in half so that they would fit into her bento box easier. Then I took some Oreos, crushed them up, add a little bit of chocolate pudding to her box, and then threw on some of that crushed up Oreos to make it look like dirt. Planted a few pumpkins. Then I added in some of these little miniature cheese balls. They're so cute. Threw in a little stem into her orange, make it look like a pumpkin. Added some carrots. I found these little cups at the Dollar Tree. I added some ketchup to it. I think they're so cute. Added my mummies and some decorations, and I was done.